Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Dobby, and joined alongside me is my co-host Al. You know? Hey, really.
Man.
Yeah?
Get him. Come here.
Snickers, please sponsor us. And now, taking the charge. All right, Alan, so let's go back to our weekly recap scores, highlights, etc. So let's start back at Sunday. So Sunday there was two games that were really nice Sunday. Obviously, the Nets-Clippers was the big one we kind of highlighted last week going into this one. And the Nets walked away with a win. And the Nets have really been rolling lately, even without KD.
What's new?
Yeah? That's how you feel about it? But aside from that one, too, we had the Celtics, who were up 25 points over the Pelicans. 25, and this was in the third quarter, and somehow the Pelicans came back and beat them in overtime.
And they say Jason Tatum's a top 5 player. They have Jaylen Brown, yada, yada, yada.
And look what they're doing. They're terrible right now.
Nathan, they're doing nothing.
Not a thing, huh?
They ain't got no costumes.
It's unheard of.
Absolutely.
But anyways, Giannis definitely had the best performance that night. He went crazy. 38-18 in a W over the Kings. And he also shot his record number of free throws in that game, the most free throws he's ever taken with 24. I mean, he had a pretty impressive this week, too. We'll talk about Giannis more as we get into the show, but
Giannis.
Those were some pretty good games, I felt like. And the Pelicans, you know what I mean, up and down lately, but Zion is really kind of like taking charge of that team, I feel like.
And Brandon Ingram, I will say. He's had a solid year. I could see a most improved player, potentially. Maybe Jordan Clarkson, but we'll talk about that.
Brandon Ingram already won most improved player.
Can't win it more than once?
And not unless he started dropping like 40 points a game.
Maybe.
He dropped like 28 last year.
Oh, all right. Well,
yeah, something like that.
Whatever. I like for Jordan Clarkson.
Okay.
Heard it here first.
Anyways, Jordan Clarkson's like 33. He's like 33 at this point. So going into Monday's games, man, how the Lakers look without Anthony Davis, dropping 4 of their last 5 games, and the Wizards, Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook, beating them in overtime. He doesn't want to be free.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't. He really, really doesn't. And then we get
into... who wants to be free? Off topic, my boy Russell Wilson. Free Russ.
Okay.
Chicago's
That's
looking.
football. We're not talking football right now.
Hey, I'm letting you know. Free Russ, we're in Chicago.
Anyways, going into Tuesday's game, Bruce Brown off the bench for the Nets when they took another win. He had 29 points. For, someone who, by the way, came out to you. Bruce Brown, he's not really talked about that much. He was traded over to the Nets and stuff like that. It was a great moment they captured on camera when he found out that he had dropped 29 in the game, and he was so shocked and surprised. I felt like that was a great moment for him. It was cool to see that.
It was cool, but if you didn't know, he's a Miami Canes fan. Stan.
Of course. How could I not?
He died for them.
From the crib. Anywho, getting back into Wednesday's games, Jazz, Lakers, and man, the Jazz really asserted themselves. Once again,
gave it to them.
I feel like
over, just took it.
I feel like they're the best unquestioned team in this league.
No, for sure.
And the fact they beat them 114-89,
it's unheard of.
Crazy. Absolutely. But regardless, another game that night too. Oh man. What a performance from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. 42 or 44? 42 in a career-high game for Shai Gilgeous. And Lou Dort hitting the game-winning 3 in that game over the Spurs. That was a really fun game to watch.
I like watching Lou Dort. He's great defensively. He's like their young leader, I could say, next to Shai, obviously.
Next to Shai.
Best player on that team by far.
I saw something that had Shai up there compared among like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Shaq and stuff like that with how dominant he's been, because I think he's one of the only players that averaged like 25-5 at the age of like 22.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he's up there with the big guys right now. So he looks like somebody who could take over as maybe the top point guard in the league in his career at some point.
Potentially, I can see that. Maybe. A little bit of a...
He's been doing really...
stretch.
He's doing really, really well. And then also, Wednesday night... a team that came back on fire, and I wasn't really expecting it. We talked about it last week. The Heat and Jimmy Butler again, almost having a triple double, 27, 8, and 10.
Still free Jimmy.
Shut up.
You already know.
Shut up. Regardless, Jimmy Butler, no, he played stellar this week.
Oh yeah.
We talked about that. Once we get to the All-Star game, we'll also talk about what Jimmy Butler did.
Yeah.
But just
what
really
a guy.
Really good games that night by Shai Gilgeous and Jimmy. I mean, just incredible performances. Going over to Thursday's game, I got something to say about this one. It was the Bucks Pelicans, 129-125. Zion Williamson was robbed. He was hacked. He was fouled. It would have sent him to the line to tie the game potentially. They got robbed. And then on top of that, too, at the end of the game, you gonna pause music? What's up?
A win's a win.
Whatever. But regardless, don't get me wrong. Giannis had a great game. Giannis is gonna do what Giannis does, right? We agree on that. But my problem was the refs. I hate when refs get overly involved in the game and they're pretty much deciding the game. But Zion went to the line. I mean, Giannis was getting calls all night.
He's Giannis. That's what he's gonna do.
I understand that, but regardless, that late in the game, for Zion to get hacked like that, not get to the line, and then on top of that, he makes the defensive play for the steal, and they still had another chance to tie or win the game. I think it was to tie the game. And man, horrible shots. I think from Bi, and then it ended up with Lonzo again.
And there's another horrible shot we definitely got to talk about later.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Sheesh.
Lord help us. But and then going into Friday slate, the Wizards beating the Nuggets.
Hey, Bradley Beal's doing his thing,
but
Russ is also doing his thing.
But remember too, that was the game where Jamal Murray in the final possession, they're coming up the court. It's a 3-on-1 scenario. Jamal's got a guy on him. A lot of people took blame for Jamal Murray and said it was on him for not driving to the basket. Fine, say what you want. There was 3 guys standing at the 3-point line, and not one of them instinctively. And I mean, I guess again, that's how the coach sets it up. You know what I mean? To come out on a fast break, have people spread it at the 3-point line. But at what point does your basketball IQ kick in, and you realize there's nobody in the lane, there's nobody under the rim, there's 3 at 3-point line? One of them's got to cut.
I'm not going to hold you. If you're Jamal Murray, you could pull up. He does this. He pulls up. He can pull up and take that.
That's fine.
Shot.
I'm not even talking about Jamal Murray. I'm talking about the fact that there's 3 guys on the 3-point
yeah.
line, and not one of them, MPJ, doesn't cut to the basket for the easy tie to send it into overtime.
They're trying to get
it's a layup.
At the end of the day, I'm not going to hold you.
It's not even about that. It's not even about going for the win. It's you're on a fast break scenario. You have a chance to tie or win. Who cares? It's the NBA. Extended periods. You know what I mean? It's not unusual like we see in the NFL or something like that, with game-winning 2-point conversion. No. This is just them and their basketball IQ failing them and them not cutting the basket for an easy layup, easy dunk. You tie the game.
I would have took the 3 myself.
What? Why?
Go for the win.
Okay, well, guess what? The ball ends up in some guy who's a bench player for most part of his career, averaging
Jamal should have passed to
points a game.
MPJ. End of the day, MPJ would have nailed it.
It's a split-second decision, and he probably... There's no guarantee. There is a guarantee you get the layup, though.
No, it's not.
That's 100%.
No, it's not.
100%. He's laying that up off the glass. It's not going to miss. Do your higher percentage play there?
No, you have a higher percentage play, but I'm going for the win at the end of the day. Sorry.
That's just... I guess that's a personal preference. That's a confidence thing, I guess. I don't know. You just emit terrible swagger.
I'm a buck.
You ain't no buck.
I'm the best player you know.
Better sugar than you. Regardless, we have to talk about that. But going into the last couple of games, why are you like this?
Ridiculous.
Why are you like
this? You heard this guy?
Why are you like this?
No, you're a sick man.
Whatever. Getting into the last couple of games of the week, Friday night, we had the Heat also beating the Jazz. That was kind of surprising. Not only to add to their win streak, but to also take down the top team in the league.
Yeah, you don't see that often. Well, you never know because basketball, they're all good players at the end of the day. They're professionals, but
exactly in every game.
The Jazz have been so dominant this year. You don't expect them to lose any night they're playing.
Yeah, and I feel like the Heat, now that they're pretty much almost 100% healthy, they're only missing a couple players. Goran had 25 off the bench, I think, in that win. Now that you can see when they're all coming together and so forth, they're playing a lot better basketball, and they can still compete with those top-end teams.
Yeah, for sure.
Great game. And then the last game of the week that we had to talk about, obviously, Jimmy also almost had a triple-double that night, but obviously the Cavs beating the 76ers. That was a little shocking, I'd say. And B dropped 40, and they still lost.
Colin Sexton went crazy.
Didn't you have something you want to say about Embiid this week, too?
Let me tell you what. This man, he can have the highest have the highest whatever. He had a mediocre week. He did not have an MVP week.
That's fine.
The team didn't do well, and he was averaging somewhere around 29 points a game.
Only 29 points a game.
I mean, when you have Bradley almost at 35 for this week.
That's every week, though. Difference is, the Sixers are a top team in this league. In MVP,
they didn't show it this week.
Embiid's number 1, baby.
Lost 2 of their 3 games.
Embiid, number 1.
Crazy. That's insane.
Other moments of this week, though, for big game moments, we got to talk about Luka's back-to-back threes for the game winner, stepping back. Beautiful game winner. Gallinari this week for the Hawks. He went 10 from 12 for 3.
He's a sniper. He's always been like that. Even when he was on the Nuggets, when he was younger, with Carmelo on the Nuggets, he was their shooter.
I love Gallinari. He's a great player. He almost got traded to the Heat last year. Didn't make the move for him. Oh, and again, Saturday, Ben Simmons hit his second three-pointer of the year, baby. Ben Simmons!
Let's not act like that was like a up on the line, set shot, great pass, rhythm 3. That was a run down the court, moving, deep dagger type 3.
Because he's really like that, Ben Simmons. Still shouldn't have made the All-Star game. We'll talk about that later.
I don't know about really like that.
But I'm not going to lie.
Dunk man.
I'm not going to lie. Man, 2K was very upset this week. 2K fans in general. Jason Tatum, you're not a top 5 player. Not it.
Ridiculous.
Sorry, Celtics, you have a horrible week. And Jason Tatum putting up 6 points in a game this week and then 9 points in a game. And they were upset because every point that Jason Tatum scored that game was another % off of 2K for everybody who plays on any console.
And he's supposed to be a top 5 player. Like, you expect at least 20 a night.
And he dropped 9 points. And you know what I mean? Jason Tatum has the potential to go for 40.
Yeah.
40% off of 2K.
I can
and
see
guess
him
what?
dropping 50 in a game.
He screwed us. Jason Tatum did.
I mean,
9
I
points.
already have 2K. I ain't worried about it. How about, the Mamba edition? Gotta put the respect on the 2-4.
But regardless, he ruined a lot of young fans' dreams that day.
Yeah.
Could have got it for way more than that. And then finally, you wanted to talk about Burks and Emmanuel quickly.
Alec Burks and Emmanuel quickly. For the Knicks this week, had a great game. One dropping 24, one dropping 25, both coming off the bench. The Knicks are looking better. Let's keep it G. The Knicks are doing pretty well right now. What are they? They're in the playoffs right now. They're kind of middle of the pack. Yeah, they're middle of the pack team. But I mean, from last year to this year, you see the jump that they've made.
Yeah,
I think with Julius Randle having a lot to do with that.
Oh, 100%. So coming into our player of the week, we kind of mutually agreed on this. It was Giannis. Alan,
yes,
Alan, run us down his stat lines from the week.
Giannis averaged 37.6 points a game. 12 rebounds and 5.3 assists, along with shooting 55.5% from field goal.
And the best part, 41% from 3.
He didn't shoot a lot. I mean, it's Giannis. That's not what his game is, but he made it efficiently. He shot 2 for 5 one night and then 1 for 2 another night, but when he's going to the rim and you can't stop him,
of course.
Don't need the 3 as much.
Of course.
And then you have Chris Middleton, too, who also had a good week.
And then also, let's talk about our injuries this week. As we get into the last thing of our weekly recap, let's talk about injuries and then going forward.
Okay, so you have Marcus Smart, who's out right now. Katie not returning for, a couple more weeks?
Yeah.
The Bulls, big 3 still out. You have Wendell Carter still out. Lauri Markkanen.
Yep. Drew Holiday is coming back. He's making his return Sunday, so be on the lookout for that.
I'm excited. I love some Drew Holiday. Great.
And also, Pascal Siakam is out with COVID. No real timetable on that, but once again, the COVID bug strikes. Also, the Raptors game postponed Sunday. They do not have 8 players ready to suit up. So be aware of that and be wary. So now, let's get into our power rankings. So looking at our power rankings, obviously, Jazz stay number 1. That was easy enough. The Nets, big movers this week, now at the 2 spot. Obviously, the Lakers slipping down our list a lot, down to 7. Clippers and all them kind of around the same area. But again, the Lakers, big fall. Again, losing 4 of their past 5 games. Really bad week for them.
It really shows you how much Anthony Davis really does for that team. It's not all LeBron all the time.
Of course. And I mean, I think when we're talking about the finals and stuff like that, AD played a big role in that. The Heat scoring and soaring right back up our power rankings, getting back into 13th. 1 spot above the Knicks, who've been pretty good recently, too, as well. Celtics, see you later. Going way down the rankings to 18th.
They're not it.
No.
But you know who else went up? The Bucks, baby!
Just a little bit. They wouldn't go up that far. But regardless, the Wizards, coming down from maybe our bottom 3, now to 21st. Very big risers right there, 100%.
I mean, Russell Westbrook averaging almost a triple-double.
He's been great. He was our second option for player of the week after Giannis. You know what I mean? He's been phenomenal lately. And then going down the rest of the list, you see, a couple teams there. Not really surprising. Cavs on a 10-game losing streak right now. Or actually 7, sorry. They're on a 7-game losing streak. And the Rockets, Wow, have they been bad without Christian Wood? 12 games in a row now lost?
Could be 10.
10?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's going to be 12.
Oh, it's going to be maybe 15, 20. I can't lie. They're not looking good
They
at
need
all.
Wood back.
They're playing
the
bad
worst
basketball
way.
right now.
29th on our list, but T-Wolves, obviously, 30th. They have the most losses in the league. They're still the worst team.
Yeah.
So heading over into next week, let's talk about the rumor mill, what's been going on so far there. Kristaps Porzingis, he's been mentioned in trade rumors. And again, I don't understand why he gets passed around so much.
I don't know. I feel like he may be just the language barrier still.
Language barrier?
Yeah, I mean, Dirk didn't develop good English till
I don't
6
think
or 7
that's why they
years
want
in the
to
league.
pass
But
around.
They're not doing well is another reason. I mean,
Or as good as they should be.
communication could be part of that with
Maybe, but
on the court.
that's something that we'd have to know.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, they're definitely not playing as well as they should be. And again, I guess that's why, I mean, Kristaps is still an all-star caliber player. It's just a little bit odd to me that they want to pass him around so much. That's all.
But I mean, you also do have the recurring injuries from him.
Yep.
He's being that tall. I mean, it's a lot of stress on the body.
Yep. And you said the Pistons are interested in Spencer Dinwiddie.
Loving it.
Yeah.
I love Spencer Dinwiddie, man. Great player. He's doing unheard of things.
Absolutely.
You know.
But I mean, definitely that's something that the Pistons need someone.
They need something, and he's been that person for the Nets until they got Kyrie, obviously.
Yep. Free agent signings and rumors. Iman Shumpert, he was signed to a 10-day contract. Quinn Cook, waived. He's now off the Lakers, gone. The Kings waiving Glenn Robinson is another one as well. The big one, we talked about it last week that was going to happen. Boogie's gone. Boogie is no longer part of the Lakers. Now, to go into G League news, we don't have much about the actual games and so forth, but we did want to talk about it for a couple minutes about how wrong it is, how unfairly that they called Jeremy Lin coronavirus in the league. It's just, you would think these guys are professionals, at least to some degree.
No, you're getting paid to do a sport. You're a professional. You get paid to do your job.
That's what I'm saying. Act professionally. To sit there and call Jeremy Lin coronavirus, what purpose did that serve? That's not just trash talking. That's just being blatantly, disrespectful and racist at that point.
Sure.
It's just stupid. You know what I mean? And he's dealt with this his whole career. He talked about, going back to college, and it's just terrible. He has nothing to do with that at all.
He's been here for ever. I think he was born here. Yeah,
he was.
Jeremy was born here. He went to Harvard. He's American.
It's just sad.
But at the end of the day, everyone is a human.
Sad.
Come on, let's treat people better.
So we are going to have to talk about the All-Star game at least one more time, as far as our episodes are concerned, because the rest of the rosters were announced. And, for the most part, it was good. KD isn't playing. They're still going to make him captain. They're keeping him captain. Sabonis did get in because of that, though. Well-deserved. Sabonis deserved to be in the All-Star. He might have been a snub.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Great numbers on a all-right team.
Good team. It was a good team.
Pretty solid. They're a solid team,
They're solid. But, yeah, he's definitely been an All-Star caliber player. The one that got me was Ben Simmons making it over Jimmy and Bam and whoever else you want to throw in there. Case could even be made for Tatum being a starter.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
That's what I'm saying. But regardless of the point, Ben Simmons, sorry, you should not have made it over Bam Adebayo or Jimmy Butler, regardless. And actually, he's only averaging 14 points a game, but Jimmy apparently was offered an all-star spot. But when he found out Bam wasn't going to be included, he passed up on it. Big respect to Jimmy.
I definitely respect that. Great teammate person, I would assume. I've never met the guy, but just from judging his character in a professional standpoint, that's...
I was also surprised in the West that CP3 made it over Book. Book is in the All-Star game now. He did replace... I don't remember who he replaced. You remember who he replaced? But even if, regardless of that point, I was just surprised that CP3 made it in over D-Book in the first place.
D-Book replaced Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis, that's right, yep. But, again, D-Book's the best player on that team.
Oh, for sure. He carries that team.
I love CP3. He's playing great ball. Always has.
He's just always a top, I'd say, 5-ish point guard.
It's got to be a popularity contest if you're putting CP3 over D-Book. But again, he got in regardless. So I think as far as the West is concerned, everybody got in that deserved to get in over there. The East, whatever. Discussion for another day. So the All-Star game, though, is upcoming this weekend. We'll be a couple days off from the NBA for that. But regardless of that, dunk contest, only one confirmed is Obi Toppin. I don't even know if they'll still go through with that.
I'm hoping they do. I want to see some.
And the three-point contest, Dame Lillard. What time is it? It's Dame time.
You already know.
Yeah. He's really like that.
Damn time. He really. Come on. And he's a rapper.
But regardless now, I think that was enough about the All-Star game. Let's go into our weekly preview upcoming games, best players, and the best teams that you need to watch out for this week. So 100% the best upcoming games, Sunday, Clippers-Bucks. That's going to be a phenomenal game all around.
Two great teams. You got Giannis, a great scorer, defender. And then you have Kawhi on the other side.
Paul George
also, are both great defenders. Kawhi being the better, obviously. I personally think he's the best defender in the league.
Yeah, holds a case for it.
Yeah.
Very good case. Monday, Jazz, Pelicans. Not maybe the best matchup of teams, but as far as enticing matchups go, that's one of them.
Exactly. You got Donovan Mitchell on one side, Rudy Gobert, two great players. Donovan Mitchell's best player on the best team in the league. Then you got a lot of young players moving up. You got Brandon Ingram, you got Lonzo, you have Zion.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good game, high scoring, I believe.
Tuesday, Suns versus Lakers. Again, Lakers been struggling without Anthony Davis. How are they going to fare against the top 4 seed in the West?
Suns are looking good. I mean, the Lakers haven't looked hot, but it's LeBron still.
Yeah.
You never know. He's viable to go off for
Anything,
40
anytime.
and a triple-double any day.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. And then Wednesday, before the All-Star break gets the cutoff, the last really big game to us was 76ers versus Jazz. Top team in the East, top team in the West colliding. What a better matchup than that.
Yeah.
2 players that are for MVP.
If Joel is really the MVP, we'll see it that day.
Yep. So let's talk about the players to watch and the teams to watch. So 100%, we got to watch Jimmy this week.
Definitely.
Jimmy and the Heat, definitely be on the lookout for them. They're on a 5-game
win streak. Yeah, exactly.
Jimmy Butler's posting almost triple-doubles every night. Also, watch out for the Wizards.
Also, hold on. Bam, I see you. Team Jordan.
Oh, that's right. We forgot
Yes,
to
sir.
mention that. Bam Adebayo signed with Jordan Brand this week. I'm so with that. I love he did that. It
Love
made them-
everything about that.
Probably should have signed with Wade's lining, though.
No, stop.
If he's for the culture, he would have signed with Wade's lining.
Get
I
out.
love the move.
No,
to
get
Jordan.
out of here.
But anyways, we got to watch Russ and the Wizards this week. They're on a win. They were on a win streak
Yeah.
too.
And
6
Russ
of their last
almost
7.
averaging a triple-double.
He is
from
almost
last week.
every game.
Yeah,
put up a
exactly.
triple-double. Beal is Beal, and
Beal.
the team just looks good.
No, they're looking like definitely a lot more chemistry's been happening. They've really found their leaders, I believe.
Yeah.
Could end up having a decent season. You never know. It's only the All-Star break.
Yeah, 100%. And then Giannis and the Bucks. Obviously, he's going off, looking like his MVP self.
Yes, sir.
We got to watch the Bucks this week. They've been peaking a little bit. See if they can keep it up. Last 2 on each side of it. Zion, BI, have to watch them.
I mean, they're both almost putting up 20, 30 points a game every single night.
And and you mentioned earlier too.
And shooting really efficiently, I will say.
Yeah. And then we got to talk about our last guy too. We mentioned him a little bit earlier off the bench. Jordan Clarkson.
Jordan Clarkson's been going crazy.
He had 40 last week.
Let's see it.
This week, he's just been a very good player. It's really exciting to see him off the bench.
Buckets.
And so the last team you guys have to tune in to watch this week, you guys cannot, looking like they might go for 15 in a row with losses. The Houston Rockets, they're terrible. Worst team in the league right now as far as how they're playing.
John Wall, I love him.
Free John Wall.
Free John Wall.
Free John Wall, free Christian Wood, and they already freed Boogie. But yeah, what a terrible franchise that is right now. So what to expect for the week going forward as we wrap up here? I'm expecting the Heat to continue with the Lakers. They're not looking good. I don't think they'll recover until they get AD back, as far as I'm concerned.
You never know. Again, I mean, they might string together a couple wins, but I don't see them being dominant and fighting for that number one seed
I definitely
right now.
see a lot of teams taking it easier as we ease into the All-Star break, getting guys more rest too. Maybe the exciting games of the week won't be as close or exciting. If I feel like if one of them gets out of hand, they're going to pull their players. Just let them get into the All-Star break early. Should be a fun weekend, though, if they do go through with all the All-Star festivities and so forth.
Oh, for sure. I'm definitely tuning in for that. I mean, Have to.
Yeah. Definitely, though, stay tuned with us next week. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe down below. And once again, we've mentioned it in other videos that have been dropping this week. We do have a donation page now set up. Its link is in the description. Again, if you guys want to donate and help our channel, we would love that. Much appreciated.
You already know.
Anything helps us out here.
Also, stay tuned. My homeboy, Young Heart, mixtape coming soon.
Yeah, he's really like that too.
Really him. He's him.
But again, guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and let us know your thoughts on the All-Star break as well. What's going to be coming forward. But I'm Dobby.
I'm Alan.
And this has been Taking the Charge.